Last week, Presidential Election Petition Tribunal dismissed the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who challenged the victory of our President Buhari at the February 22nd, 2019 poll.
Let me start by saying that however long the rope is, there must be a source. Okay. Now, if we start from that angle, we will understand that, well, if you talk about constitutional security vote, what is the source? Where did you get it? Okay. It's not budgeted for. These are things that you don't see anywhere. Okay. You just come from nowhere and say, this is the amount. And don't forget, every governor is at liberty to fix what the security vote is in every state, depending on how rich the state is. And in Nigeria today, the average is 300 million. The least you can get. You can't get anything less than that. And now, imagine how many roads 300 million naira can build in a month.
How many hospitals?
How many hospitals it can build. You understand? Now, you are looking at, somebody is saying, my problem is this. Yes, let's assume it's there during the colonial era. But in America or anywhere that we run to America or Europe when we want to. But then, is there anything that President Trump or whoever in the European countries will do without accountability? Oh. Now, is there anything the governors are hiding that they don't want us to know? If you know, well, you can't discuss issue of security because it is sensitive, because it is, it is very, very dangerous or whatever. But then you should be able to account to us that, well, security vote for this year is 10 naira, and I have spent 10 naira.
Back to my issue.
Now, there is nowhere in the constitution or any law whatsoever in Nigeria that there is provision for security vote. So it is illegal.
Okay, so back to the question I tried to ask earlier. Okay, fine. It doesn't have any constitutional backing.
No. Yes.
Now, do we agree or do we think that the governors are entitled to some type of security vote to give them that ability to empower them to protect their citizens better?
No, we cannot make it legal except the present framework. Nigeria governance framework is redefined. Because now we have the IG who controls the police. Right. We have the chief of army staff who controls the army. Is there any governor that has his own police? Is there any governor that has his own vigilante or whatever who is constitutionally recognized? So if the answers to these questions are no, then it's highly preposterous to commonsensical reasoning for anybody to now say, I can pick money, I can spend it anyhow. And again, when ICPC, EFCC or whoever is, or police, when they want to investigate the account of the state, they don't touch it. So, which means you are at liberty. Yes, exactly. It's just a dash to them. To me, I don't think it is proper. I don't think it's even legal. And even it's a disservice to the people. I know Governor Fayemi is a fantastic gentleman, but I think he is talking like that because he's the chairman of the Governors Forum. And again, don't forget, the problem we have in this country will remain for a long time probably because in the National Assembly, we have no less than about 40 past governors who are there. So if the law is changed, it will haunt them. Some of them are 30 past. And you can see these are the things.
Point taken. Now let's go to the issue of very taken. Let's go to the issue of the tribunal because issues came up on what happened that the judgment went in favor of President Buhari. I think the courts threw out the fact that Atiku was from Cameroon. They felt it was a non-issue. They also felt that Atiku was unable to prove beyond a reasonable doubt all the allegations he claimed. Could you just tell us in bullet points what exactly happened and how did it come about, that ruling?
You see, first of all, in Nigeria, we seem to forget the background to an issue before we dabble into it, and sometimes we color our minds with some sentimental disposition before we hear our view. Now, first of all, I have to say, I'm not a member of any political party in Nigeria. Now, the tribunal, we must ask the question, is there a petition in the first place? Election petition is a sui generis kind of proceeding that is in a class of its own. It has rules and regulations. And those regulations, you can't meet them halfway. It is by complete measure. If you meet it that way, in fact, the petition may not see the light of day. It may be struck out in limine at the interlocutory stages. Now, in the petition filed, The petition, the whole petition is about 147 pages, covering the entire Nigeria, 36 states, including Federal Capital Territory, 774 local government, 19,973 polling units.
Okay.
So even if you are taking it paragraph by paragraph, you will have 19,000 that in polling unit 1. This is what happened. Okay. You will have about 19,973 paragraphs, which cannot be covered in 147 pages. For instance, in the election petition of Ekiti recently, the one filed by PDP against APC, the present governor, Fayemi, it was a petition of 2,684 pages to cover 16 local government. These are people bringing facts to the table. Right. Now, if you come to the tribunal, poor, you must live worse. You understand? You must put something on the table. The judges, the justices at the Court of Appeal in Abuja, they were not in Ondo State. They were not in Ekiti. They were not in Akwa Ibom. They were not in Lagos. They do not know. They did not know what happened. But they will have to judge based on what is before them. Okay. And again, first of all, before we go into the merits, there are a lot of problems with our laws in respect of election issues. In 1983, people praised Awu for not going to election tribunal, but he said, it's not that he didn't want to go. It's not that he was satisfied with the election or the outcome. He said, the time limited for me to file an iron cast case is not enough for it. He said, the time limited to file a petition is not enough for me to file an iron cast case.
Okay, so are you saying that?
Now it was 30 days then. Okay. Now it's 21 days. Okay. Now you are covering, and the local governments are more. The population then is less than how many million? Now we are about 200 million.
So it was sorted from the start.
Yeah, from the start. Now the petition filed by PDP. Now they said the man is not a Cameroon. They say it's not an issue. Now you are saying that the issue of certificate. Well, fine. You cannot. The one Miadua has come. They said the name Mohammed and Muhammadu. And Miadua is a witness for APC who came and said, no, Muhammadu or Muhammad depends on how the tribe that is calling the name. That is the strength of their case. My name is Kabir. My mom in the village will call me Kabiru. You understand me? But people to make it look cosmopolitan, they say Kabir. You understand? Now, do you now make this an issue, Muhammadu or Muhammad? And somebody from Cambridge, what's the name of this university school he attended abroad? They came, they gave evidence. Then in Nigeria, they have come and said, this is it. And the law is, if any who are led must prove. If you say somebody is a thief, you must first of all say that I caught him with goat. Now it is for him to now go for, once you have said that, it's for him to now go and say, the goat you saw with me was my wife's goat. Okay. Now, the man said, you said he is not a graduate or he doesn't have a certificate, he has presented one. Okay, fine. You have not gone for
I don't want
the burden of proof.
So I don't want to
on them, and they have not discharged.
Yes, and so they couldn't, and you're saying that right from time, the time frame for them to organize themselves to prove that is not enough.
Yes, and again, in our law, in the case of December against Obasanjo in 2007, Justice Patacholo of blessed memory said he equated the election of 2007 under Obasanjo to the gory sight of the ghost of Macbeth. Some of us who have read Macbeth Shakespeare, when that ghost appeared, the way blood was covering his face, he equated that election of 2007 to that gory sight. But then he said, it is an equivalent task for you to prove an election petition and win. And he said,
should we just scrap? No, with this major issue now, how come state governors have been able to prove otherwise? We've had cases where a state governor has challenged it and they were able to win.
Hold on 1 second, sir. Yakub has been holding for a while. Yakub, are you still there?
I'm all right.
Sorry for keeping you for so long. Go ahead, please.
No problem. Good morning to you. Good
morning.
Thank you very much.
Murayo, there's something baffling in this thing about some of our topics. Number one is that security force issue. The lawyer in the studio says that this thing is illegal. And then we all Nigerians know that this is an illegal thing. And then why do we allow our governor to collect this money? And then in this country we have civil society organizations. One of them is Serap. And then Serap knows that this thing is unconstitutional, although they are pushing for it. But the question we need to ask is this: how do we put stop to this? That is the first question. But if you go to failure police station, especially here in Lagos and some states, Borayo, you will find out that the infrastructure there, it is not what to look like. Now, the government has affected security for tomorrow. I can tell you this. Some of our governors today, they fight to be a governor of various states because of that money. Because this is the money that comes to them unaccounted for. And then when they get 30 million naira monthly, 30 million naira. And then when
Thank you very much, Jacob. I have to run. You see, I really don't want to go back to this security position, but let's
answer the question. How come some states have been able to, at least we have precedents of states that have been able to prove that the election was faulty and they had the verdict was in their favor.
Very well.
What can we do when the presidential is difficult?
Those ones that you said, in 2007, we have the decree, the transitional decree of 1999, under which you have election petition. Then later, a law was made in 2006 that the Electoral Act, then you can go on and on. Don't forget, under those laws, the rules does not specify the number of days you can prosecute your petition. Under the old one, Fayemi's petition was prosecuted for 3 years, 5 months. Arebeshola's petition was prosecuted for 3 years, 6 months. Oshomale's petition was prosecuted for 20 months. Mimiko's petition was prosecuted for 23 months before they could win. So you have time. Yes. Now, under the present dispensation, the electoral was amended in 2010. The rules, the practice direction, which is the rule, was there amended. You have 10 days to prove your case. How many witnesses can you call in 10 days?
Now that he has taken the case to the Supreme Court, any hope for him?
Well, the Supreme Court, we have to look at the records. If there is lacuna, the Supreme Court can overturn the judgment. Don't forget that the star witness, the evidence was struck out because it was giving evidence in respect of the entire country. And you cannot be in 2 places at the same time. He said it was at the control room. So if you are at the control room, how come you know what happened in Ekiti? In the petition, the entire allegation of all the things that happened in Ekiti is in 7 lines. The entire allegation of what happened in Ondo is in 6 lines. How do you begin to... I don't think anything can come out of this. You need witnesses to speak to the allegation you have made. If you say the snide ballot box in so place, you must bring somebody. Now, this is part of the problem with our law. Our law will now say, this is a video, but somebody must link it with your case. That the judges cannot do a constant justice at the recess of their chambers. That they can't watch the video, that they cannot look at the document except you speak to it. If the document has been tendered, the best evidence, documentary evidence, speaks for itself. But now they say witnesses should be recounting it. So with this one, there's no way we can go.
Had a chance from the beginning.
I don't think so. With the petition they presented, is watery. The petition is very watery.